once again to talk, some of the latest Penn State news. Matt, you were in town recently for the spring game, and we got Trebor Pena finally got another good receiver, so we should be pretty set there. But how you doing, man?
Doing good. It was a fun weekend. The game was good. Actually liked the format of the game. I know a lot of people were reluctant to go out. Looked like it was going to rain, but luckily the rain just kind of passed Friday night and was done, Saturday early morning. So we got a good full clean game on Saturday. It was a good turnout, for missing one side of the stadium. I thought it was a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, so they didn't put anybody on that side at all.
Yeah, all the W side was all just blocked off.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so we get Pena from Syracuse, which is a good pickup, something I'm happy about. He's going to be a good slot guy for us. But, that really sets our receiver room up well. And we got the running backs already, obviously. We got the defense. That's not a problem for us. So, overall, it's just a good situation.
Yeah, I told you guys, 2 months ago when I came on that they're going to get 2 all-conference caliber players in the portal, a minimum, and that was even after receivers. There's one.
You said receivers,
and there's going to be. Don't be surprised if there's one more.
I wouldn't be surprised. So who would be the second guy you think?
Well,
player, let alone receiver. Who's the second player?
I think it's clear that linebacker, especially with Tamir Robertson leaving, is shifting their focus. I think that caught everyone a little bit off guard in terms of him transferring. I understand it because they're only going to play a lot of 2 linebacker sets. I think Anthony Specca bodes well for him. There's a reason why Robertson transferred, and I think Specca was probably the reason. I thought he played well last year, but listen, we're going to be playing potentially 16, 17 games. Depth is going to be something that at every position is going to be tested, not only with us, with every team. Got about 100% injury rate with football. So I think their focus in terms of maybe remaining NIL dollars and roster spots is probably going to wind up now shifting to linebacker. So I don't see a priority path for them to get a receiver unless someone came to them, because they've already pretty much cleared house with 3 real quality receivers in the portal right now. The need is at linebacker. And Franklin made that pretty clear in his press conference. I have 4 years of eligibility left, but I don't know how much I would help. But I wouldn't be surprised if they got both linebackers, both the kid from North Carolina and from Rutgers. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so receiver, how do you think we're sitting right now?
I think we're sitting really good. I think we're sitting great. Ross. Listen, you only saw limited action during the blue-white game, but he had a really nice catch on the sidelines. I thought he ran some nice routes. Obviously, it's a very controlled environment. Had a really good game versus Iowa last year, which really stood out. Obviously, was really good, probably his best competition he saw all last year. But the reason why I like the receiving core is because football is a game of matchups, right? And now you have a situation where this offense, when you have Pena, you have Ross, you have Hudson, and you have either Dinkins or Reynolds, you have the most quality depth at receiver that you've had since the team that went to the Rose Bowl, right? Yeah. So it's going to be hard to, which one of those guys do you double, right? And if you double one or 2 of those guys are going to have a favorable matchup against a safety or a linebacker or a slot corner. And that's why I've always been a big proponent of teams that have 3 quality receivers. That offense takes off to a different level because you're always going to have 1 or 2 favorable matchups on every single play. Because a lot of teams in college football, there's not many that are 2 or 3 deep at quality corner. It's just a harder position group traditionally to accumulate, that much front end talent.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like you're talking about which Rose Bowl team? 2009 or
2016?
All right. Well, yeah, 2009 too. We had D. Wills, we had Deion Butler, Jordan Norwood, and then back then we had Chris Godwin, and we had some weapons on that 2016 team. But yeah, now you really do have everyone you need, man. Franklin, he got into it with a fan at the spring game. I guess the guy called him a fraud.
Someone said something about the price. Again, allegedly, someone asked him about like the price of snake oil. That's what I read somewhere, that he was kind of alluding to, that he was a snake oil salesman. I mean, listen, if he thought he was a student, okay, I could see like, hey, a teaching moment, he's trying to correct a behavior of another student there. Ultimately, in those situations, vast majority of the time, there's really no winners, and you're really better off just ignoring the situation. Or if he's using bad language or he's hostile, you just ask one of your assistants to go get one of the security and tell them to shut up or get out of there. But I don't know. I don't think him getting involved brings much upside for him. I think it just creates more liability. So I don't see many winners in that. I think you just ignore it and move on.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll pull this up. So like Ohio State, when he's going off the field and he gets in the guy's face, the guy's like yelling at him.
Which guy? Show me.
The guy that was for Ohio, after the Ohio State loss this year. There was a fan like yelling at Franklin, like yelling in his face.
Oh, okay. When he was in the tunnel.
Yeah, and he goes and he talks to him, like he says something back. So this is the video here. What's he doing? Is he trying to? He was trying to get him to come down to talk.
I thought I heard he said something about after the game coming and talking to him. I mean, again, I hope it's a student and he's just trying to use that as like maybe a teaching moment to a student there at the school, but no winners in that. Not worth it for him to engage. If he's using foul or abusive language, you just get security involved and take care of it. I don't think that. I think if you had to do it over, he'd probably just forget about it.
Yeah. So the thing is, all right. So he's yelling at this guy. He's responding to him.
I mean, he's done this a couple times. I remember there was an incident. I forget what other game was that, where the guy one of the players got pretty heated also as well, walking out. I think it was Vega, like stood up for him. One of the fans were like trashing him after the game. I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So when he was leaving the Ohio State game, he asked him for his name.
I think one of the students, yeah, he was like hanging over the side. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, the coaches invest a lot in,
yeah. I mean, you know, I just bring this up because, you know, you were at the game. He's coming off the field. This guy's yelling at him. And
well, I think he said "F you" to him. I mean that you.
yeah, so the guy leaves. I mean, it's
not a fan of the hat. I mean, that guy needs a little fashion advice going to a football game. It's had like it's like a leather jacket and also you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I bring that up because, you know, we have all these great players, man, and we've had a lot of talent. We've had a lot of great players. And for me personally, like when we get like a guy like Trebor Pena, like that's awesome. But and we haven't really had receivers as of late, but it feels like no matter who we have, like we can't beat Ohio State or Michigan or win. Like the Notre Dame game was a big game because that was to go to the national title. And it sucks because it's Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame. They didn't have nearly as much talent as we had, and we lose again. So it's like that's why fans say stuff to him like that. That's why they get so mad because they're like, "Dude, what's going on here? You can't ever beat Ohio State."
No, who can beat Ohio State though? The past 4 years,
Michigan, past 4 years.
But obviously there's a reason why, and you're starting to see that unfold, and they are going to get penalized. I mean,
either way, Penn State, I don't know, man. Historically, Franklin, he's beaten Ohio State one time. He's beaten Michigan, I don't know how many times, but his record against them is horrible. So my point
is everyone else's. You know, that's the problem. So is everyone else's. What I would say as a program, we are, I think, better positioned to compete with Ohio State overall, better now than we were 4 years ago.
Yeah, like Nick Saban, he didn't have a bad record against good teams. Ryan Day doesn't. Jim Harbaugh, I don't think he did either. But you know, those are just some examples of guys that.
Yeah, but I mean, Nick Saban's the greatest coach of all time, college football.
Joe Paterno.
I mean, Joe's up there, but I mean, Nick Saban, man. I mean, got to give the man his due. Got to give the man his due.
I mean, to me, like we get Trebor Pena, it like solidifies our receiver room, and I'm still like, we'll see. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Man,
yeah, but
Smith and Ryan Williams on our team, and I would still be like, yeah, we'll see. Because Franklin has not won a truly big game yet. He is not.
Well, I mean, what I would say is this. I think one thing that has been clear over the past 3 years, since NIL has become a lot more prominent, that what Coach Franklin was saying the several years before that about budgets, facilities, analysts, paying top coaches, we were really behind Ohio State. And I think that really was kind of brought into light over the past 3 years because of the NIL money being front of everyone. Now, I think we're closing the gap there. I think we have over the past several years. I think the transfer portal, Penn State has done it exceptionally well in the transfer portal. Look how many really good guys they've brought in. They've lost next to no one, right? You know, Ohio State, I mean, they lost Joe Burrow, Jameson Williams. I mean, they've lost some other good guys. We've done very well. So, I mean, listen, I'm as frustrated as anyone else. We haven't been able to beat Ohio State as much as I think we could reasonably expect, which to me is once every 4 years, one recruiting cycle, we should be beating them. But ultimately, I think we're well positioned moving forward. And we're not alone, right? I mean, it's not like we're the only good team that's losing to Ohio State, right? So there's not much further we need to go to get where we want to be. You know, in those last couple spots, going from a top 5 or 6 team to the top team in the country, that's often a harder ladder to climb than going from 20 to 10. So, but listen, you got to be, this season, you have to be the most excited about any season going into it in quite a long period of time. I mean, the amount of quality depth and experience they have at every single position unit, maybe a little thin at linebacker, right? But you're returning an all-conference caliber player at every single position group and quality depth. So you got Michigan, redshirt for, freshman quarterback. I'm going to tell you now, between now and the season starts, there's going to be more noise coming out of there with the investigations. That's going to create some additional distractions. I mean, let's not forget Sharon Moore deleted about 36 text messages. That is going to come to light more now that he's the head coach, when other things around that program start to boil over. Because everyone, when that came out, was more focused on Coach Harbaugh. But now that's going to be front and centered and reintroduced. I'm telling you, that's going to be a distraction for the team this season. There's going to be things that are coming out about the number of investigations that are going on there. Now, Michigan will weather the storm over the next year or two. They're a big brand. Ohio State, they're breaking in a brand new quarterback. I'm not as concerned about that if I was an Ohio State fan, with losing Denzel Burke, losing your whole defensive line, Sawyer, Talik Williams, all those guys. Travion Henderson, you lose Junkins. Yes, Jeremiah Smith is an amazing player, but again, the game is won in the trenches.
You muted yourself there, Matt. You good? Yeah.
So to me, I feel good about that matchup. And again, we don't have to beat Ohio State. We don't have to beat Oregon earlier in the year to go where we want to go, and that's a national championship game. We just have to be one of the top 12 teams in the country.
So, yeah, it's I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's cool that they got Trebor Pena. I thought he'd be on the roster. He would be on the depth chart. Our lads is usually pretty good. But what number will he be? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to be number 2. Obviously, Liam Clifford's 2, and then Collins is number 2 on defense. So,
yeah, we absolutely needed another receiver, which is awesome.
No question.
And like I said, on defense, we're good. Running back, we're good.
Outside of linebacker, and I think we'll get one, if not both those guys.
Yeah, so you like with the addition of Trebor Pena, Aller has everything he needs, man. I mean, he has a tight end too, run game, he has good line. So, like, I mean, I've been saying it for, this will be like the 3rd year I've said it, because Aller was the starter. Before, with Sean Clifford, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but with Aller in his 3rd year, 3rd and final year, I mean, do they get it done? Like,
they
have everything, man. They have everything they need.
The only thing that will hold this team back is injuries. That's it. You know, if you have a situation like, was it 21 or 22? Remember, all those guys got hurt. That would be the only thing that derails this team from making a deep playoff run and legitimately having a shot to win the national championship. You know, they literally have all conference caliber, at least one all conference caliber position player, receiver, tight end, running back, their safeties, secondary guy. I'm telling you, watch Elliott Washington, number 9. He's going to have an all Big Ten type year at corner. He's going to have a better year than Jaden Kimber did last year. I'm telling you right now. So I think the 2 corners between Washington's development and another year from Harris are going to be better than Kimber and Harris were last year. Wheatley is going to have a tremendous year at safety. Listen, missing Jalen Reed, that's going to hurt. But even back to last year, Mark, all right? Shit. Kevin Winston, by all accounts, is going to be an All-American safety. We lost him. And what's the one play we lost on? When Jalen Reed slipped there in that game versus Notre Dame. I have no doubt that Penn State's playing the national championship game if Kevin Winston is healthy all last year. Or if Lambert Smith doesn't transfer.
Yeah, Kevin Winston.
Either one of those, and they're playing in the national championship game.
So the fact that Penn State, they did not have good receiver play last year, is that why they lose to Notre Dame? Is that why they don't make the national title game?
I think if Lambert Smith doesn't transfer, they're in the national championship game. They didn't need that much, right? I think if they played Notre Dame 10 times, they'd win 7.
Yeah,
that may not be a popular opinion, but I mean, the team was stacked, right? And Drew didn't have his best game. He was off. He missed, some throws by a little bit, but that's behind us. That we could replay that game for the rest of our life. We can replay the 99 Minnesota game or the 2005 Michigan game or the 2008 game at Iowa or 2016 versus Ohio State. I mean, we can go on and on. But looking forward to the season, I haven't been that realistically optimistic about their chances to win a national championship in quite a period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Winston being out was huge. That was definitely a huge loss for them all year. He still got drafted. Here's another thing too: if he played this year, he's probably a first-round pick. I mean, he was that good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, yeah, man. I mean, we got AJ Harris, we got Ellie Washington, we got
Collins is going to be good. Zion Tracy, Ski Wheatley.
We got
Max back,
Rojas, King back, Anai White, and then on the offense, what's crazy is the offense is so star-studded, but that's been.
But it's the offensive line. I mean, Cooper Cousins is going to be an all-conference player. Cooper Cousins is going to be and this may be a bold statement, Cooper Cousins is reminding me of a Zach Martin.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is in the league for 10 years and goes to 7 Pro Bowls. I think
I know he is good, man. He's very good.
Yeah. And you look at where he is now compared to last year, to me is a strong indicator of his work ethic. And how much Franklin spoke about him last year just being a freshman. There's a reason why JB Nelson, who played some nice football for us, decided to transfer. And number 50 is a big reason for that.
Yeah, he's definitely a very hardworking guy, up-and-comer. He was talented coming out, and Franklin always talks about what a crazy work ethic he has. So,
he's arrived, man. I'm telling you, your first game of the season, you'd be like, he's going to be an all Big Ten. Worst case, second team, all Big Ten.
Brett, what do you think about Pena getting signed?
Huge. I mean, he seems similar to what we had in the role as Parker Washington, man. Similar size. Parker was thicker. He had more weight and muscle on him, but shifty, not the fastest guy in the world, but can get open. He has hands. He can catch the ball just like Parker. Somebody said that was a good comp for him, and I agree. Like, we haven't had a Parker Washington since Parker Washington. So if we can get somebody that productive, 600 yards or whatever, because nobody threw the ball more in Syracuse last year. You can look it up. Nobody did. So I'm not saying he's going to have a bad season. He's not going to have 1,000 yards in our offense. It's just not going to happen. But he doesn't need to. We just need somebody who's going to put it up and pick up the slack that Luke Reynolds doesn't get, that Devontae Ross doesn't get, that Kyron Hudson. So like all the new receivers are going to get a nice split load, and I could see them all having 500 yards easy. I mean, we'll take that. 600, 700 for one of them maybe, and then Luke Reynolds with 4 touchdowns. It's going to be a spread offense, and we're going to be able to do whatever we want. We'll run it down people's throats with our offensive line and the 2 running backs we have.
It's not just 2. I mean, 3. Martin's good.
Yeah, Quentin Martin,
I mean,
Corey Smith.
Corey Smith, I mean, he was fast as hell, man.
Yeah, Corey Smith, he's been looking really good. He needs to put on a few pounds still, but hey, they can still throw him in there for gadget plays and like wheel, like a wheel route. He can catch the ball out of the backfield just like Quentin Martin can. So all the Penn State's guys can technically play receiver too. They not actual receiver, but they can go out and catch passes. So Trebor Pena was a huge get, and I don't think they gave him $2 million, but I imagine they gave him a good chunk. So
well,
doesn't really matter, but
he's here. I mean, and I was talking about this, Mark, before he came on. I mean, what it does, it changes the whole dynamic of the offense with 3 quality receivers, because I mean, football is a game of matchups, right? And so now that you have 3 quality receivers and you have Reynolds and you have Dinkins, on every single play, Aller's going to potentially have, and more than likely, vast majority of the time, that 3rd or 4th receiver is going to be on a linebacker, strong safety, someone where he has a matchup advantage. So last year, when plays broke down, Tyler Warren was the oh shit guy. Oh shit, plays breaking down, find him and throw it to him. Now they're going to be running really a more pro style offense, where in the pros, you don't really have that, where if something breaks down, just throw it in someone's direction because the defense is too good. You're going to have 1 or 2 guys that are always going to be in a very favorable matchup. That's what depth gives you, right? And so none of these guys also are like, they're really good, but would you double any of them? Maybe one of these guys by the end of the year progresses. So to me, that even speaks to more schematically why all 3 of these guys should all, to your point, have 500-600 plus yards over the course of the year. I don't expect Drew to throw a lot of interceptions this year because of those favorable matchups. He's not going to be forced into just, hey, Omari Evans isn't open deep, and Harrison Wallace is in short intermediate, and they're triple teaming Tyler Warren. Like he didn't have a lot of options, leads to go through. If Warren wasn't open, Wallace was solid. I would have loved to have Wallace back this year for depth, but after that, it was like, okay,
same.
Like there wasn't a lot of windows, and we saw the film breakdown week after week. I mean, there was a lot of tight windows, and Kotelnicki really had to go deep in his playbook schematically to get guys open, rather than our guys last year just getting open one-on-one by either speed or precision in running their routes. It's going to be a much different ball game this year. It's going to be a much different ball game.
Yeah. So Brett, you think like losing to Notre Dame, we did the post game. You said he doesn't have any receivers, which he didn't. Do you think this makes a difference, having these 3 guys like this?
if we had one or two of these guys against Notre Dame, we win by 10. It's simple as that. Like, let's just be honest here.
That's for sure.
Because Warren was being double or triple teamed the whole game. If we had these guys, even if they focused on Warren, these guys were getting open. Like, at least one of them. Trebor Pena, like, he runs nice routes, man. Devontae Ross runs nice routes. Kyron Hudson, they all run nice routes. That's not something. Omari Evans did not, as much as I liked him when he was here, like, I root for anybody who's at Penn State. I root for all of them. He was a deep guy. His short intermediate route running was not good. I mean, if you look at the replay against Notre Dame, he knew he was the fourth read, so he was out there lollygagging, didn't do anything. You got to run every route like it's to win the game. You have to run every one like that if you want to win. So, yeah, all these guys can run routes. Harrison Wallace ran good routes. He just couldn't always get open. He wasn't physical enough at the point of attack. Coming off the line, he wasn't physical enough. Some reps he won. He's not a bad receiver. No, he could go to Ole Miss and play. He could have a good year. Omari Evans could have a good year. Maybe in a different system, they figure it out. It's a year later too. So I mean, you can't get worse, unless they're playing with an injury. Then you can get worse. But hey, I'm rooting for him. But yeah, with the guys we brought in, it feels different, like in my chest, right? Like in my stomach, like there's not that nervousness going in, like, oh, we're gonna have like they went out and got 3 receivers. That's never happened, and it had to happen because they're looking at it as, and they're not going to say this, but natty or bust. That's what they're looking at. And I'm not saying they have to win it, but like,
they do. They do.
They need to win it. I agree, but if they get there and fight hard, whoever they play, like Texas spent $40 million. Texas spent $40 million on the offseason on their roster and the transfer portal. So if we lose to a team that spent $40 million more than Ohio State spent last year, I'll live with it. I'll be heartbroken for a long time, but I'll live with it. But if we can make it to the Natty, I want us to win it. Trust me, I do. If we can make it there and fight hard, let's say we're losing a close one, that's a successful season. But we need to win it.
Yeah. Like, are we – so, okay. So when it comes down to at the end of the day, that's another thing too. Are we spending enough money? Like, are we in a position?
We're fine.
After all said and done, is to win it all?
We're fine.
We spent a lot of money to retain our roster.
How much have we spent?
Think about it, dude. Drew's probably getting $2 or $3 mil to stay. He's probably getting $2 or $3 mil. Nicholas Singleton's probably getting 1.5. I don't know what he's getting. 1.5, $2 mil. Katron Allen probably $1 mil. Like, they're all getting money. Think about it. They're all getting the players that they retain. Zane Durant, he's probably making a killing, right? Like, he's probably I don't know. The guys who are staying are making money, though. That's for sure. I don't know how much. We're never going to find out a number. Penn State's really good about keeping that under wraps. Any other school, you can find out. Ohio State, Texas, like all the info's out there on how much they spent. You'll never hear that about Penn State because we don't have that bravado to us. We don't have that, like, we don't give a crap mentality. This is how much money we spent. Like, there's a humility in the locker room. There's a humility in the program at Penn State. So we're not going to be speaking out on how much money we spent. But those guys are getting paid for sure. They're getting taken care of. So
no one's doing anything for free this year.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of like the locker room and stuff. But that's one thing about it is, yeah, like we can be, because Ohio State, right? Like I respect them as a program. I respect them. I hate them. Yeah. More than any program in the country. I think Ryan Day is just like he's just like a corny guy. Like, Ohio versus the world. Like, dude, shut your mouth. Seriously. Like, Ohio State versus the world. It's like, what world are you in, bro? Like, everybody like seems to like you guys. All right, so Ohio State fans, as they're one of the biggest groups of morons on earth, they've been coming at us saying they had higher attendance last year. All right. I've seen 3 different sources that says over the last 5 years, we've had higher attendance. We have a bigger stadium, higher percentage of attendance last year. That's one thing they've been saying. I don't know if they're just trolling, but that's not true at all. So the fan base is insufferable, but Ryan Day, again, I just think he's like a corny guy. And they're like, at the end of the year, they're like, yeah, we won. And you say to yourself, yeah, you guys spent an astronomical amount of money to put this team together. So, of course, you won.
Yeah.
I mean, so it a lot of it comes down to, because Ohio State, they pretty much bought that national title last year. Will Howard, nothing special, man. Nothing special at all. They had Jeremiah Smith. They had like some good running backs. They didn't have like, dude, our running back room is better than Ohio State's running back room. To me, I think they're better. And
especially
they didn't
now.
have anybody that outstanding.
Especially
They just
now.
had a lot, like Caleb Downs. You know, they bought guys like Matt. Like, what do you think about that? Like Ohio State last year, they won it all. I mean, why? I don't think they won it because they were the best team. First of all, they were an 8th seed. If they were doing top 4, they wouldn't have even gotten in, which would have made that Michigan win even. That would have been
A loss,
one of
you
the
mean?
best days of all time, huh?
A loss, you mean? They're lost to Michigan. Ohio State's lost to Michigan, you mean?
Yeah. Ohio State's lost to Michigan. So, like the fact that they bought that, the fact that they had that much money in their roster. I mean, is that why they won last
you give
year?
them credit. They're organized. They have their NIL in order. I mean, listen, they're running it like a professional program. It's no longer cheating. It's legal. So I mean, listen, they, you know, like some of the coaches in the Big Ten joke, the SEC had a 30-year head start on this. You know, to begin with, you heard a lot of kind of commentary like that. But I mean, listen, we're not doing anything that much differently this offseason, right? With our 3 receivers, and we're going to get, you know, we got the kid from Texas A&M, and I'm going to tell you right now, Max Granville is going to be the other starting defensive end outside Dennis Sutton. He's going to be an absolute monster.
And Dry Fisher. Yep.
Yeah, I have him, Luke Reynolds, and Cooper Cousins as my 3 breakout guys across the team. And
we have a Nye White too, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to need depth, like we said earlier in the show, Mark. Like, you're playing 16, 17 games. You're going to miss. You're going to miss. Guys are going to miss games.
Yeah.
You know, you just hope it's not quarterback, because that's the only position that would be hard to sustain beyond like a game. But
we got good backups. Hey, I'll tell you what. I mean, they look good. I mean, I know it's a spring game, but what's his name? Jackson Smolik, for coming off an injury, he moves good, man.
You know, I was surprised because Grunkmeyer seemed to pass him last year before the injury on the depth chart. You know, obviously Grunkmeyer got in the playoffs last year, had that one kind of mix up on the interception. But
yeah,
I mean, listen,
could be a battle for QB too.
Yeah, and I think it's good for both of them. You know, right? I mean, ultimately, it's just gonna push both of them. I mean, I would love to have Prabula back, just because quarterbacks get hurt, right? I mean, that's 16, 17 games. I mean, that would have been a nice security blanket, but you can't have everything.
Let's do a hot take. Well, I don't know if it's a hot take, but out of the 3 receivers we got, who do you think's gonna have the best year? I'll go first. Devontae Ross. I think he's gonna have the best because he's shifty, man. He's quick. He runs good route. I think he's gonna have the best year out of all of them. I think the easy answer is Trebor Pena because he came in with, you know.
You stole my thunder. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have like. I think Ross is going to have like 25% more yards than the next guy. I think he's going to be that good. I mean, again, watching him, like even his body control, he had this one sideline catch.
Yep.
Like during the game. I mean, again, there's no defenders, but still, like you athletes when you see them. You don't necessarily need the defenders, and obviously there's going to be there. But yeah, I think he's going to have a really nice year, and that type of depth sets up quality years for a guy like Tyrese Denmark, who now is going to have like a nickel corner on him, right? He's going to have like their third or fourth defensive back when he's in the game. So don't be surprised if whoever steps up as that fourth receiver winds up having a really nice year just because of the depth in front of them, and the other teams are going to have to, have nickel and dime backs on our fourth receivers. So I can see one of those guys having, a really nice year, 200-300 yards, maybe a handful of touchdowns, something like that. I think we're going to throw the ball a lot. I think we're going to score a lot of points. I mean, this 94 was a special team.
Yeah.
But have you been more excited about an offense since 94 that Penn State's going into a season with? And probably not.
2017, maybe. You can say that because it was 16.
Well, they lost Godwin, right? That's the part. Like, and I remember, dude, I remember I went to that Rose Bowl. I remember it was when I saw the announcement that Chris Godwin was leaving for the NFL a couple days after the Rose Bowl.
You're like, no.
I remember told my wife at the time, fuck, we're not winning the national championship next year.
He was that good.
That's the one guy they needed to come back, and it would have been a slam dunk.
Yeah. Chris
All right.
Godwin.
We're spending $16.8 million on football.
That's
this year.
Not true. That's
how much is it?
It's fake news. Okay, I'll just tell you that's fake news.
That's athletic department. That's probably not football.
That's not on football. No.
Football.
And Mark, are you talking about like total salaries, total quote unquote? How much money they pay the players in total?
Athletic department revenue to the football program. So that's how much comes from the athletic department since we're paying from the school directly. So how much total is Penn State football dishing out?
70% of that. Probably 70% of that number is what football's getting. Let's be honest. So it's probably, like 11, 12 mil, something like that. I can't do math right now, but that's probably accurate.
So, Matt, how much money is the football team getting then? For this roster, how much is it put together?
I'll just tell you this. It's more than you're estimating. Remember, guys, they had a lot of people step up. Look how many people stepped up for donation for the stadium.
Yeah.
People will start to donate when you have winners, right?
Yeah.
When you win, start to get money. Last year's run in the playoffs engaged a greater fan base than any time in the Franklin era.
Yeah.
And people aren't stupid. They see the way the roster is coming together. And next year is a legitimate opportunity to win national championship, right? There's no more Alabama. There's no Florida States of the 90s. They have a legitimate chance to win it next year. And a lot of people know that who are involved and want to see that.
I have a good question. Do you guys know, since Keandre Lambert-Smith left, why has nobody taken number 1? Do you think Trebor Pena is going to get number 1? Why has nobody took it yet? Isn't that weird?
Well, Jalen Reed was number 1 last year.
I mean, on offense. Nobody's been number 1 on offense since Lambert left.
You know what?
It's weird. I don't know why, but it's a good number. Why would you not take it? Nobody wanted it, I guess.
Yeah. That's a really good question. And I don't know if it had to do with Lambert-Smith.
My thing is, Trebor Pena was number 2 at Syracuse. Number 2 is Clifford, obviously. So the only number left really that is decent is 1, because after that, what do you have? All the other numbers are taken.
Clifford should give it to him.
Number 8 maybe on offense? We don't have a number 8. We have 8 on defense, and that's what's his name?
Dude, Liam Clifford should be wearing like 99. He doesn't deserve a good number.
No, don't say that, dude. He deserves.
Dude,
He's a legit. He's a good person. He deserves number 2.
Yeah, Matt.
No,
so where you hearing this this number for the revenue, the NIL? Like I really just to compare because Texas spent 35-40 million. You know what I mean? So
ours is probably 20 mil. I could see that.
I don't know how they get 35 or 40 mil.
I don't know.
I don't know how that adds up. You just go up and down the.
But guess what? They're not going to be able to do that once the cap comes because it's going to be 22 mil or something for each team in college football once the cap comes in. So they won't be able to.
So that'll be for revenue sharing paid directly from the school. But the other part that needs to be hashed out is what about the collective money, right? Like that's separate. Now, I do think there needs to be legislation right away regarding that. And, you even heard today, I know President Trump was with Nick Saban at an event in Alabama, and he was encouraging him to maybe put forth some executive orders around this to try to create some balance and stability. Because I give Saban credit, like we are trending towards there just being like 25 teams competing in college football, and that's it. Like, yeah. And I don't know if that's good for college football. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's sustainable.
I mean, if you're like Illinois or something, and
you're in no man's land,
and you don't have a bunch of money coming in, like you're never ever gonna be relevant. You're
just gonna lose your players, right? You're gonna lose your Hudsons, your Rosses, those quality guys that if their teams aren't going to compete for a conference championship, they're going to leave. Right? So Penn State, just as an example, like they started originally poaching like what schools, right? Like, okay, Mitchell Tinsley, Western Kentucky, right? Then you start to move up. Oh, Chop Robinson, Maryland. Now Trebor Pena from Syracuse, right? Hudson from USC. These aren't just transfers from MAC schools anymore. So that's going to continue. I don't know if it's good or bad for college football, but I think we all as fans want one transfer portal window, which should be for maybe a month after the national championship game ends, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any administrator or any coach I would say, oh, let's have a transfer portal. Then let's have you go through all our spring practice, learn our plays, learn our installs, and then open up free agency again. That's stupid. Doesn't make any sense for anyone involved. So they're going to fix that. Should be one window, and that's it. And they're going to start to move towards contracts, which is good. So if the player wants to leave, great. You got to pay a buyout. If the school wants to let you go and free up a scholarship, they have to pay a buyout. It's simple.
So do you think even though Texas is spending that much money on NIL and we're spending however much we're spending, like you think we can still beat them? Because it's going to be
I mean, listen, because again, some of that are on your freshmen and sophomores who may not be playing that much, right? They still had to pay Arch Manning a lot last year. He didn't play.
He made a lot.
Yeah, but he's still sitting.
I mean, like $4 million for not playing, or like he played a couple of crappy games, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, they lost their best defensive back, they lost their best receiver, they lost their best lineman, they lost their starting quarterback. I mean, I just feel really good about our team this year. I'm not even concerned about like what other teams are spending. I'm just looking at, hey, what does your one deep look like across all your units? How much is experience is coming back at tackle, at running back, at your number one receiver, at your tight end, at your quarterback?
Yeah.
I mean, Arch Manning still hasn't played a full season of college football. I'm not saying he's not going to be a really good player, but
every game he looked good in was against nobodies, like total nobodies.
yeah.
So he is fast though. He's a good runner. He's a good runner. That's what they used him for some packages last year, kind of like.
But that's also how you get hurt.
Yep.
You know, that's how you get hurt. So you got you know, there's some balance there. I'm not concerned about Texas.
Did you guys talk about the linebacker commit today? Good pickup. Solid pickup. 6'3".
No, we didn't.
Wiggins?
Oh, yeah. So you look at his offers, and this is another example where the casual fan will look at those offers from Kentucky and be like, oh, what the hell are we doing? And I will give this staff credit. I think they've done a tremendous job of identifying good character guys that are good athletes with good bodies that they can grow into and develop.
Yep.
And this to me is an example when you look at his measurables.
6'3".
6'3", that
Long
big,
arms. Yep.
arms look like just get him in the program. Get him with Chuck.
Yep.
Get him with Dion. Get him with Dan. Give him a year or two.
Yep. And from what I heard, he just climbed in the rankings to a 4-star. So that's why his offers aren't like out of this world. Penn State knows what they're doing. Like you said, they've been scouting him. They offered him in October. They saw something in him. His athleticism is very good. So Penn State gets these hidden gems before they blow up in the rankings, like a Drew Aller, like Ethan Grunkemeyer was a 3-star when they offered him. Climbed up to a top 10 QB. So they know what they're doing. They have some of the best scouting in the nation, and they're going to continue to do this every year.
Yeah, and those star ratings really until their senior year are, I think to your point, very deceptive because it's all based on projection. So if you played at a good program and you didn't get much burn your freshman or sophomore year, okay, they may just cap you at a 3-star based on your measurables, but you don't have a lot of film.
Yep.
You
it's
know,
the measurables and the film and where they're playing. Like Jashir Rogers, one of the best receivers we're getting in 26. He was a 3-star for a while because he plays in Delaware where the competition isn't that great. But then you put him on 7-on-7s and he's torching everybody. It doesn't matter where they're from.
Yeah.
So now he's going up the rankings. Can't wait to get him in here.
Yeah. So